It's the Valley's most in-depth weather video. It's Weather for Weather Geeks, the Tuesday evening edition here on the 6th day of February. Boy, we've got another action-packed show for you tonight because we've got a major winter storm heading our way tomorrow morning, more snow likely on Friday, and then some weekend shenanigans as well. We're probably not going to have time to talk about the weekend. We'll get to that a little bit later on. First, a quick review of where we've been so far this month through the first 6 days with our 1.4 inches of snow at the airport this morning. That brings our monthly total through the first 6 days up to 6.9 inches. Saturday, the only day without measurable snow so far this month. And of course, we're going to be adding to these totals as we go into tomorrow, and probably some trace amounts on Thursday, and then perhaps some accumulating snow on Friday as well. All right, here's the radar loop as of 7:25 this evening. Two separate systems will kind of merge. The colder side is up here. This is the Gulf moisture, and this will kind of congeal into an area of low pressure, an organized area of low pressure that will track up in a fairly favorable direction for us to get a pretty healthy snowstorm. It's going to stay far enough to the south that I'm not real concerned anymore about any mixed precipitation. I can't rule out a few sleet pellets in far southeastern Columbiana County, maybe southeastern Lawrence County, but I think the mixing will be more of a problem down towards Pittsburgh. So overall, the track is pretty sweet for just a good old-fashioned snowstorm, and it's moving along fast enough that while this will be a pretty healthy amount of snow, we're not talking about, you know, a foot or anything like that. So here's how things will break down Wednesday morning. I'll pause things here a couple of hours or a few hours before daybreak. I think it's going to be snowing in our southern viewing area as early as 4:30, closer to 5, maybe north of I-80, and then it's just going to snow for several hours. It'll really be thumping, we think, in the morning around daybreak, 7:30. Anyone traveling to Pittsburgh, boy, good luck with that. I would just recommend changing your plans. Now, I've gotten asked a lot on Facebook about people traveling to Cleveland or maybe to Canton, Akron, and while the amounts will be lower up here, it's still going to be no fun to drive on the Turnpike or 422 or 76 or any of the thoroughfares around northern Ohio tomorrow morning. Notice the mixing is primarily south towards the Pittsburgh area and in the southwestern parts of PA. Now, the snow's going to taper off fairly quickly right around midday tomorrow. From west to east, we're going to see it kind of shut down fairly rapidly, pretty close to lunchtime. And then by the afternoon, we're just left with probably a couple of residual flurries, especially as we head into the evening hours, and there could be a stray flurry into Thursday morning as well. So kind of breaking things down here in another way, put some clock times on things here. We're talking about the snow getting underway, again, a couple of hours or a few hours before daybreak. Heaviest of the snow on average, probably between 6 and 9. And then from 11 to 1, the snow will then taper off, and we'll get a chance to dig things out as we go into the afternoon. Here's a look at our latest modeling. Now, the trend has been up today on the modeling. You'll notice now a lot of our models are clustered north of 4 inches here, and more so 5-6 inches. With a couple of models, specifically the European and the latest run of the NAM, getting up above a half a foot worth of snow. So that's been the trend today, showing more and more snow. Here's what I've done with the snow map. And, you know, for consistency's sake, I've kind of kept the 3 to 5 area, but in a lot of this 3 to 5 area, not just in our viewing area, but back towards New Philly and even as far south and west as Columbus, in this zone, you know, you're more likely to get 5 than 3 in most of this. And what I've done with the 5 to 8 area is shifted it farther south and west. I think what's going to happen in our viewing area is most of us are going to see about 5 inches worth of snow, and some 6 to perhaps even 7 inch amounts could be possible, and I think the best chance of that will be south and southeast of Youngstown. So anyone in the 224 corridor and down into Columbiana County, over into Lawrence County, even parts of Mercer County, I wouldn't be surprised if we got 6, maybe even 7 inches out of this. So what I might do before the 11 o'clock show tonight is add more real estate to this purple area. Now, I don't think a lot of places will get 8, but 6, maybe 7, yeah, I could see that. So again, pretty healthy amount of snow heading our way. Now, it's not going to be a back-breaking snow to shovel. It's going to be enough. You know, shoveling a half a foot of snow is no fun. But with the fluffy, dry nature of this, you can move this around easier than if it were a real heavy, wet, goopy snow that sometimes happens when it's 31 degrees and snowing. It's going to be in the lower and mid-20s with this snow tomorrow morning, so our snow-to-liquid ratio is closer to 15 or even 16 or 17 to 1 rather than the somewhat typical 10 to 12 to 1 that we see, again, especially when it's, you know, closer to freezing and snowing. So my advice tomorrow morning, if you don't absolutely have to travel, change your plans and just stay in and wait this out. And We'll get into better conditions for the afternoon because real high impacts, because of the timing and because of the amounts. 5-6 inches of snow in the morning is bad news. If we're going to get 5 or 6 inches of snow, we'd prefer that to be late in the evening when fewer people are out and about. If you work second or third shift, it's no fun when we get that much snow in the evening, but there are fewer people on the roads or trying to be on the roads at that time of day rather than at 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. All right, so Thursday's a quiet day in between systems. Friday's interesting. This front is going to drape somewhere across the Great Lakes. Now, the models today, with the exception of the latest run of our in-house model here, the models have shifted farther north with the snow today. Now, this latest run of our in-house model has come back a little south. We've got a good chance of snow on Friday. My suspicion is, based on today's modeling, the majority of it anyway, that the best chance for accumulations more than just trace amounts, maybe north of I-80, but confidence is sort of low on that right now. That's just my gut feeling at the moment. I wanted to finish tonight with some good news. I've been talking about this on Weather for Weather Geeks lately, that a pattern change is on the way, and this means that a milder pattern is likely to take shape in a lot of the lower 48 states as we head towards the middle and latter portions of February. This will really start locking in next week. So that will cut down on our snow chances. It means that we'll have more frequent above average temperatures. There'll be some cold days probably mixed in, but a distinctly different pattern looks to take shape as we head into the longer range. So we have that to look forward to. In the meantime, take this serious tomorrow morning. It's a pretty healthy snowstorm. Some of us have had that much snow in one go this year, but it's more common in the lake effect areas. For the most people in our viewing area, this will be the biggest storm of the year so far tomorrow, with a lot of places getting 5, again, perhaps even up to 6, perhaps even 7 inches worth of snow before the morning is through tomorrow. Wait it out if you can. The afternoon will be better, and Thursday looks okay as well. So I'll have more updates this evening. Don't forget, you can get the hour-by-hour forecast, detailed forecast put in by human forecasters like myself on the Storm Tracker 21 app. I'll probably do some fresh videos for that app before the 11 o'clock show tonight. I'll be adjusting the snow map probably before the 11 o'clock show tonight as I see more model information coming in. Might add more real estate to that 5-inch plus zone that I have in areas south and east of Youngstown right now. So stay tuned for updates like that. And if you are going to brave things tomorrow morning, be sure you're checking in with Jess tomorrow morning on WFMJ Today. She'll have you totally covered along with the rest of the crew on what the roads are like, what the radar looks like, and everything else you need to know.